Devotion Eau de Parfum was a huge hit last year, so no wonder that the intense flanker was highly anticipated 2024 perfume release. It comes in a more vibrant, ambery, orangey tinted glass bottle with the same Sacred Heart adornment up front. But how it smells and performs, what are the differences and similarities between the two, and which one might be better for you? You'll find out that and so much more in this detailed review. So welcome back. I'm Miri, and on this channel we talk in depth about fragrances. Before the review, I have to mention that the notes are kind of confusing because they didn't list everything you'll be able to smell after you spray this fragrance either on your clothes, either on your skin. So the opening should be all about hazelnut, but from the start I got citric note that's not listed, but it's there, and it's very noticeable, bordering something between bitter lemon peel and juicy candied syrupy orange. It has kind of slightly artificial synthetic vibe, but it's so much smoother compared to the eau de parfum where you got very sharp lemon in the opening. And underneath that bright orangey lemon peel is a beautiful nutty cream, smoothing and calming down citric zest. Just because in intense you get hazelnuts, don't think you'll get edible Nutella-like nuttiness. Hazelnuts here have almost roasted bitter woodiness beside that nutty creamy warmth, so they give depth instead of making this into an edible gourmand fragrance you might expect, just looking at the notes. Also, even though this isn't listed either, I get some spices in the opening as well. Something bitter, almost a bit earthy, like cinnamon or nutmeg were used as well. But you truly get just a dash of spice, making intense more intriguing and beautifully balanced between bittersweet, syrupy citruses and creamy cappuccino-like heavy nuttiness. While the original to me smelled like candied lemon peel or lemon jelly slices dipped in ginger tea, the intense in the opening smells to me like spicy candied orange slices next to hazelnut flavored cappuccino. So in the opening, intense has gourmand aspects, but it still smells perfumey. And after half an hour, that citric note becomes fainter. It moves to the background, providing bitter edge of citrus peel as a good contrast to other sweet elements. Therefore, eventually that candied bitter orange will become overshadowed by vanilla and hazelnut, so the scent develops toward denser gourmand vanilla direction, but it never becomes completely edible because of the addition of orange blossom, giving some floral aspects to the scent, and also because of bitter woody aroma that gets stronger as the scent dries down. Orange blossom here, just like it does in the eau de parfum as well, it has some honeyed and boozy rum-like facets, and that dark brown honey-like accord makes me think ylang ylang was possibly also used in the composition as well, making this scent even creamier, denser, thicker and more pastry-like, resembling panettone the original tried to convey with its scent. But this panettone pastry in intense is infused with woody creamy hazelnuts embellished with some dusty powdery quality in the dry down. So in the mid, Devotion Intense smells to me like you took a spoonful of orange blossom honey and drizzle it on top of panettone. Then you took a bite and sipped hazelnut cappuccino during a cold winter evening. And then in the base, Devotion Intense transitions into warm vanilla with some resinous, nutty balsamic nuances, a touch of lingering orangey peel feel, and some bitter and woody note. It doesn't become a true vanilla fragrance because it has this like undefined bakery goods type of vanilla and type of sweetness in it. And those sweet aspects are especially in the base contrasted to very prominent bitter dry woodiness. So Devotion Intense finishes as dense, heavy, sticky sweet scent of honeyed panettone immersed in hazelnut cappuccino in some wooden rustic interior. Compared to the original Devotion Eau de Parfum, which opened with the scent of sugary lemon slices, and I could vividly sense crystallized texture of sugar in it. In comparison, Devotion Intense opens with a combination of candied, spicy oranges and bitter, woody hazelnuts. So both open with sweetened citruses, but the original features more prominent lemon with some sugar, while Intense focuses on syrupy sweet oranges and woody hazelnut aroma. While in the original, I could smell some ginger, also giving a beautiful fresh zing to the scent. In Intense, I don't get any ginger, but I get something slightly spicy, giving a bit more depth to the fragrance. In the heart, both have honeyed orange blossom with some boozy nuances, and in both, vanilla becomes more and more prominent as the scent dries down. But in Eau de Parfum, vanilla is fluffier, fresher, and lighter, even though Olivia Casp, the nose behind both fragrances, explained that the original was inspired by famous Italian dessert panettone.
In Devotion, the main starting idea was to work on a panettone. I tried to use the right ingredients: candied citrus, orange blossom, some rum, some orange, and I started to work around building a panettone.
But to me, vanilla in the dry down of the Eau de Parfum resembles more the scent of vanilla panna cotta, while Intense truly becomes fuller, thick, pastry-like scent resembling that heavy, deep, dense texture of panettone. But if you're looking for a true edible gourmand fragrance that is extremely close to the scent of panettone, then check out my review for this perfume. I'll link it in the description box together with my in-depth review for Devotion Eau de Parfum. And now back to the comparison. Both Devotion Eau de Parfum and Devotion Intense have powdery aspects in the dry down, but powdery nuances pronounce white florals in the original, so this is a bit more floral scent in the dry down. And also those powdery aspects make vanilla fluffier and more rounded, while powdery aspects in Intense are combined with woody notes, and together they give this like dusty quality to the scent. So while Eau de Parfum had sharper citruses and thus it was a lot fresher, Intense is heavier, denser, more syrupy, darker, sweeter fragrance with smoother scent profile. But also in the dry down, it's less citrusy, it's definitely woodier with prominent bitterness, and overall it's heavier, more gourmand version of the original. Both fragrances truly match the color of their juice and bottle. The original is slightly lighter and more lemony, so it matches yellowish juice color, and it gives sunny, joyful energy because it has some fresh twists, so it resembles sun in zenith, while Intense is fuller, denser, with more prominent orange aroma. So yeah, it matches its ambery, orangey tinted glass bottle. It gives fall, winter, cozy sunset vibe. It's warmer, it's slightly spicier, sweeter, and woodier fragrance. So if you're looking for a signature perfume you can wear in every season, then Devotion Eau de Parfum will be a better choice. But if you're looking for a perfect colder weather fragrance, then check out Intense. If you found this video helpful, informative, and descriptive so far, then boop the like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe for more content coming up. And also, that's a huge reward for me and all the effort I put into making these in-depth reviews. And now let's briefly talk about the pros and cons of Devotion Intense. The first negative point is that it can be too sweet for some because it's more gourmand than the original, it's sweeter and heavier. It's truly a dense perfume. So if you usually prefer lighter, understated fragrances, well, this one might be too intense and too sweet for your taste. And the second negative point is that it smells a bit synthetic in the opening. The original had the same problem because to some citric notes in perfumes give off this cleaning products vibe. So if you're not a fan of citruses and fragrances, beware and be prepared that in intense for the first 20 to 30 minutes you'll get a prominent orangey bitter citric note, but it's nowhere near as sharp and pungent or synthetic as it was in the Devotion Eau de Parfum. And now 2 positive points. The first one is that this is a more complex fragrance than the original. I really like the original, but Intense is a much more nuanced, it's smoother and more complex fragrance with hazelnut, spices, some honey accords and woodiness, giving it more depth and texture. So if the original was just simple citrus vanilla fragrance for your taste, then you might want to check out Devotion Intense instead. And the second positive point is that compared to the Eau de Parfum, this is a better performer. It lasts longer, it's stronger. With the original, I get about 5 to 6 hours of longevity, but with Devotion Intense, sometimes I get even 7 to 8 hours of lasting power, and it has a beautiful scent bubble. So yes, this is a better performing fragrance. I really like the original, but I like Intense as well, especially because it has gourmand aspects, but it's not a realistic edible type of gourmand perfume I'm not a fan of, because when I wear true food smelling edible fragrances, they make me feel a bit overwhelmed, and sometimes if they are overly sweet on top of being edible smelling, they can make me feel a bit nauseous as well. So I'm thankful this one is relatively moderate gourmand fragrance with perfumey elements, but let me tell you, it is very, very sweet. I absolutely love the opening of Devotion Intense. I enjoyed the dry down because I'm not completely on board with that bitter note in the dry down, especially in the base, contrasting those other sweet elements. But that might be just the way Devotion Intense blends with my skin chemistry. So let me know in the comments, does it also become very bitter in the dry down on your skin as well? Therefore, this doesn't get 10 out of 10 for its scent profile, but 8.5 out of 10, which is pretty high rating as well. I like that both have the same DNA, but Intense has a nutty, woody twist, so I can see why it will be more interesting to some, although the original, if you're on board with citruses, is still maybe a bit more crowd-pleasing in my opinion. If you absolutely hate Devotion Eau de Parfum, I don't think you will necessarily and absolutely love this Intense flanker, but if you like the original and perhaps you didn't like how sharp lemon was done here, then Intense with smoother citruses, gourmand and woody notes might work out better for you, especially because it lasts longer, so I would rate its performance with 7.5 out of 10. I prefer the Intense because I have several fragrances in a similar vein to the original. Nonetheless, I think this is a really good new release and I would recommend it with all my heart for all those who would love a smoother, richer, warmer and cozier version of the original with improved performance. And if you're not a fragrance collector, I don't think you need to have both. I will also declutter one because I have a ton of fragrances. I can't wear them all. So I hope this review helped you as well in deciding which scent profile might work better for you. And 4 words I would describe Devotion Intense with would be orangey hazelnut vanilla cake, and overall I would rate its scent and performance with 8 out of 10. But this is just what I think, and now it's time for you to share your thoughts and experiences, even if they differ from mine, because that way others who watch this video and read comments can make a more informative decision. Will this be something they will like? Don't forget to click the like button, and if you would like to watch in-depth review of another designer fragrance, then check this video next. I will see you there. Bye!